Hey folks, welcome back to XCOM Enemy Unknown. We're gonna continue the Let's Learn series here with some strategies, really one specific strategy that I'm recommending, though I will briefly review a second. So the decision is whether or not you're going to go for additional satellites right away, or the sat rush strategy, or if you're going to try to leapfrog technology advancement by doing the alien capture strategy. Now, by default, I almost always go the strategy of satellite rush. I just feel like it's gives you more control. It's more enjoyable for me. Alien capture at the beginning. Later on, I don't mind doing it, but early on, I don't know, my playstyle just doesn't, it makes it for a lot less fun. There's more stress involved, and the game's hard enough as it is. I mean, you start playing on classic Ironman, Impossible Ironman, the game's tough enough as it is. I don't feel like I need to add to my misery. I'm not a complete masochist. So let's move on to the first strat, which is satellite, quote-unquote satellite rush. And the really big thing here is simply the dates, the timing. Now, in this playthrough, we started off, we didn't get a mission right away, but I'm gonna pretend like we did, that we got a mission on, the 2nd of March, and we were able to get engineers right away. Now, it wouldn't have changed anything that I did. Now, if we go here to facilities, I built a workshop right away. So I took a mission, and that's the first thing that you would want to do. So be it on March 2nd or March 5th or what have you, the first step is always the same, though ideally this would happen on March 2nd. You would take a mission that provided you with an engineer's reward, and then immediately you would go and you would build a workshop. That's the first thing you would do. The second thing that you would do is by March 10th, and we're getting pretty close here on this playthrough, by March 10th, you would want to build as many satellites as possible, up to 4. And the thought process being that, okay, I have 1 of 2, right? So I have capacity for 1. If I build another satellite uplink right next to the one I have, it provides 2 plus 1 for adjacency. That's 4. That's how you get to your 4 number. So you could build up to 4 satellites starting on the 10th, since they take 20 days to build. Now, council report in 25 days. I start building them on the 10th. I'm gonna obviously blow past that. So, but I've already got 1 being built, and that's gonna blow past it too. So this is a lot of luck of the draw for the first month. Now, obviously, though, it'll carry over to the second month. You can take panic reduction missions, council missions. There are things that you can do to try to keep as many different countries in, on the council as possible. But if you lose some, you lose some. This meter here indicates how many you can lose before you've lost the game. I've had games where I've lost none. I've had games where I've lost 3 or 4 and still successfully gotten to the end. So, don't sweat it. The idea is that, get through the first couple of months, and then it'll get easier. So, first step, March 2nd, take a mission with engineers, build your workshop. By March 10th, build up to 4 satellites. So on March 10th, you would want to start the 4 satellites. By March 15th, you're going to want to build your satellite uplink. So let's go here, put it right next to the existing one, and satellite uplink requires 5 power, which we have, 10 engineers, which after that workshop completes we will, and then of course the money, 150. Don't be afraid to go into the gray market under situation room and sell off things that you don't need. I would try to avoid selling off weapon fragments, but certainly corpses, other than leaving maybe 1 so that you can conduct research on them. Otherwise, just sell off, especially like sectoids. You'll get plenty of them as you go along. So March 15th, again, would be the building of the satellite uplink. And then at the end of the month, right before the council mission, and really up to the last minute. It can be hours before. You would want to go, you'd want to go into the situation room and then launch your satellites. Now, the question is where? Well, it's tempting to just go for these ones that are high dollar. So Russia's 150 a month. United States is 180 a month. You have your initial bonus in your starting area, and you can't lose it. So like if, for instance, I lost China, India, or Australia, I'm not going to lose the bonus future combat. So if I have to lose a nation, I'm gonna lose a nation to panic here. In other words, if I've got a choice at the end of the month between saving China or, say, saving the United Kingdom, I'm gonna save the United Kingdom because I can afford to lose China because it's in my home area.
You have them bringing back alien body parts as souvenirs. It's a breach of protocol.
Oh yeah, breach of protocol. So that's really the satellite rush in a nutshell. Okay. And I'll put a little display over here, or attempt to put a little overlay over here that you can pause that gives you the key dates. And again, if these dates get passed, it's going to roll over to your second month. Okay, so it might make the first month a little rough, but it'll pay off in the second month. And you really just want to continue that as you move forward. So you would just continue to build satellite uplinks, right? Build your little square, and you can research the more advanced, satellite nexus. And so the ideal setup would be satellite uplink, nexus, and that would cover everything. It's really not worth it. I would say just toss up another satellite uplink up here, and even leave a couple of countries without satellite protection, and then you can leave a few without it, and then you can continue to farm abduction missions for rewards. So just a thought. You don't have to do it, but certainly something you could do. Okay, now the second strategy, which we're actually sort of set up to start with this playthrough, is the alien capture, which means that you want to get as much technology as quickly as possible. By capturing the aliens and researching them, you can get research credits, which amplifies the speed in which you do your current research, and that also gives you access to technologies that you wouldn't have. So if you capture aliens and you get their plasma weapons, as an example, you're going to get access to that much more quickly than you would, and it's going to change the tide of battle. So the quicker you can get to the advanced weapons, obviously it's going to make it easier for your soldiers to survive. There's a lot of people that swear by that strategy, the alien capture technology, going down that route. It tends, I think, if you can pull it off successfully, to also make the game quicker. And I like to draw out the mid part of the game. I think it's fun to do so. So I stick with the satellite and base infrastructure strat. But for alien capture, the core piece is research, xenobiology, get access to alien containment, build alien containment as quickly as possible, get an officer training school so that you can get another squad mate, get yourself some arc throwers, and then start capturing aliens. And then research as much as possible and do a balance between grabbing yourself some extra scientists and grabbing yourself engineers, maybe a little bit more heavily on the engineers on a go-forward basis. And then try to capitalize on the fact that you have a technological edge against the aliens that you're encountering. Now remember, the date is what dictates what you're fighting against, and not the progression of your soldiers. So it's not like, oh, I've got a lieutenant or a captain soldier at this point, so I'm going to immediately encounter these tougher aliens. It's not based on that. It's based on the time. So just bear that in mind. So regardless of what strategy you're using, everything is based on the time. You progress to a certain point, you're going to start seeing certain alien types, be it, from sectoids to floaters, to thin men on the council missions, and then to mutons, and so on and so forth. They just get progressively tougher. Okay, so that's, hopefully a semi-brief overview of the satellite rush and alien capture strategies. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you like the video, please like it. If you want to see more content, please do subscribe and provide feedback. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.